Okay, if you all, council members, if you all come. Dr. Latham, Ramel, John Odegaard. And then I've got if the others can come, Mary, the others can come somewhere right up around. We've got plenty of space. If they just come up front. Yeah, Gabby, if you all will come up front, kind of. Same. Yeah, please. And William Harris, well, you with Space Center Houston, come on. And here, come on this side, William. Down there, yeah. Right, yeah, right there. Yeah. Yeah, Gabby, come a little closer. There we go. It's just important for people to see the entire team on because it has taken that to get us to this moment. So let me just start off by saying good morning to everybody, and thank you for being here. I want to acknowledge some key individuals who are joining us virtually or in person for today's important announcement. Jackie Wright, who is the Chief Digital Officer for Microsoft US, is joining us virtually. Good morning, Jackie. Morning. And then President David Liebram, president of Rice University, is also joining us virtually, and in large part because this is the first day of school, I believe, at Rice. So thank you, President Liebram. It's good to see you. We also have Mayor Pro Tem Dave Martin, who's with us, and Councilmember Carlos Cisneros is also present, along with Gabby Rowe, who is been quite instrumental with us in technology deployment, innovation, you name it. Well, William Harris, Bill Harris with Space Center Houston is also here. Dr. Granitha Latham, the superintendent of HISD, is present, and we've been working very closely with Dr. Latham on multiple fronts. And then we have also today is Jan Odegaard, who is the interim executive director of the ION, the Houston Innovation District. Jan, thank you for joining us. David Crowley, professor of practice at the University of Houston College of Technology, is here as well. Ramel Mitchell, who we've been working with Microsoft over the last 2 years, who has been quite instrumental in getting us here, Director of Citizenship and Public Affairs for Microsoft. So Ramel, thank you for also being present. And then we've also had the privilege of working with a number of our city departments, Jesse Bounds, Director of the Mayor's Office of Innovation, Lisa Kent, Director of the City IT Department, and Shannon Buggs, Director of Complete Communities, Andy Eakin, and so many others. So as you can see, there are a number of people who've been actively involved in making today announcement happen. Houston is a city on the cutting edge of technology and innovation, and over the past few years, our city has strategically diversified and expanded our economy by aggressively competing for startups, creating opportunities for tech-related jobs, and collaborating through public-private partnerships to position Houston as a robust and forward-looking community. We live in a global marketplace, and even as we battle a global pandemic, we must continue to move forward, remain resilient, and continue to engage with our partners. And as I've said before, we are not walking, but we are sprinting into the future. And there is no better place than Houston for an innovation ecosystem to evolve. 2 years ago, the city and Microsoft announced a first of its kind alliance when Houston was chosen as the company's first Internet of Things to boost Houston's position as a data-driven city. Since the initial alliance was signed in 2018, Microsoft has worked with city departments to inventory and showcase our smart city initiatives, put a significant investment towards the creation of the first of its kind ION Smart and Resilient Cities Accelerator to bring startup innovation to the city. So far, 15 startups have participated in the accelerator, and several pilots are currently underway. Help fund and develop a new proof of concepts for the use of Internet of Things and artificial intelligence to make the city safer and more resilient. And some projects, for example, Project Edison with Alief Independent School District to improve school safety, Zen City, community sentiment analytics using artificial intelligence, sensors to detect blocked railroad crossings, and so on. Microsoft worked with Metro to pilot Wi-Fi on public transit to bridge the digital divide. They hosted a variety of STEM education, digital literacy training, and reskilling programs to create more economic opportunities for Houstonians, particularly those living in underserved communities. I am pleased to announce today that the city and Microsoft have signed a memorandum of understanding to expand the groundbreaking digital alliance. The expanded partnership will support the city's initiatives to innovate in big data, artificial intelligence, and the digital economy. This means Houston will boldly lead United States cities in adapting new technologies to create economic opportunities, close equity gaps, and enhance the quality of life. I will touch on some of the highlights of the agreement before turning it over to Jackie Wright. Through this agreement, Houston will coordinate initiatives between Microsoft and local stakeholders, such as corporate partners, K-12 systems, and higher education partners. The city, with help of the Brookings Institute, will develop a comprehensive local strategy for artificial intelligence and digital transformation, focusing on preparing communities to thrive in a changing economic landscape. With Microsoft, we will facilitate high-level all workshops and continue to support the youth STEM DigiCamps, plan and host business roundtables, and support citywide workforce training. We will support digital literacy and empowerment programs to reach invested and disenfranchised communities to prepare citizens for opportunities in new technologies. And that's what we have accomplished so far, but we are just getting started. I want to pause for a moment to allow Jackie Wright, the Chief Digital Officer of Microsoft US, to expand on today's announcement. Jackie.
Thank you, Mayor Turner, for your leadership, and thank you for all that you continue to do here. For the past 2 years, Microsoft has been committed to advancing civic innovation and smart city initiatives, economic development and digital skilling for workforce transformation in this great city. I am really happy to join Mayor Turner today in announcing our continued support to ensure Houston is a world-class city of technological innovation and economic opportunity for everyone who calls it home. This year brought unimaginable changes as we have found ourselves navigating both public health, social, and economic crisis. These events have really disrupted how we live, work, and connect with each other. And while we're all experiencing the same circumstances, it's really quite clear our ability to manage these circumstances are different for everyone. Some of our most vulnerable communities have disproportionately felt the impact of economic hardship and tremendous loss due to this global pandemic. And as we look towards recovery and begin to define what comes next, we do so with an emphasis on increasing equity, access, and inclusion for all Houstonians. At Microsoft, we know Houston to be a city that does big things, and that requires big partnerships. And that's why we're deepening our Digital Alliance partnership through an investment of more than $1 million in programs that support social entrepreneurship, drive innovation in big data, artificial intelligence, and the digital economy with Houston's Innovation District at the ION, and in collaboration with local business community. And today, we are really excited to announce our Accelerate Houston program. This initiative is the latest US implementation of Microsoft's Global Skill Initiative and comes as we continue to address the economic crisis caused by COVID. With millions of people out of work, expanded access to digital skills will be a critical part of an accelerated economic recovery, especially for those people and communities who have been hardest hit by these crises. This pandemic has really taught us that no community, business, or industry is 100% resilient. But those that are fortified by technology are more resilient and best positioned for success in this new virtual first world. And as advances in AI, machine learning propel us into deeper digital economy, digital skills across the Houston community must keep pace. So Accelerate Houston will increase economic development by helping those to close the digital divide and creating skills for high demand jobs. Through coordination with corporate partners, K-12 school systems, higher education providers, we will take a multi-pronged approach to reach people at various points along the job readiness continuum. This includes providing curricula to familiarize youth with the basic concepts of digital literacy, which will be through our Microsoft Imagine Academy and our DigiCamps. We will also equip current or returning members of the workforce with intensive in-person or on-demand training programs to reskill and upskill for the new economy. We know it's just not enough to provide skills training, so we will also make sure the newly skilled workforce is provided with many opportunities in Houston, whether it be with corporations, small and medium businesses, or the startup community. All are necessary to ensure a comprehensive recovery in which everyone has an opportunity to participate. We've also have people in our communities who have been unable to participate in the job market for reasons such as limited access to education, experiences with the criminal justice system, or limited accessibility. Accelerate Houston is really about making sure everyone, no matter who you are or what your life journey, can participate in this economic recovery. Houston is one of the largest, most diverse cities in the country. And as Mayor Turner frequently says, in order for the entire city to thrive, all parts of the city have to thrive. So we are really pleased that access to technology solutions, technology opportunities, and innovation economic growth will be available to all Houstonians. Thank you, Mayor, for your partnership, your continued leadership, and for everything that you do for every person and community across this great city. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Jackie. And I'm excited about Accelerate Houston and Microsoft's support of Houston's Innovation District at the ION. While Houston's diverse talent pool, strong research institutions, and enormous corporate sector among the strongest in the United States and the world, we need to continue to reinforce our economy through innovative opportunities. We recognize our workforce will need reskilling and upskilling for the 21st century economy. And I think we're finding that out even more so while we are battling the coronavirus. Accelerate Houston will provide opportunities to address economic recovery through skilling both underserved communities and reskilling the many Houstonians affected by COVID-19. A study by Rice University's Kinder Institute for Urban Research shows COVID-19 job loss is hitting Houston's low-wage neighborhoods the hardest. Accelerate Houston will speed up the post-pandemic economic recovery by identifying the needs of underserved communities in our complete communities. We know the jobs of the future will require digital skills to be competitive. As the world energy's capital and a city with the largest medical center in the world and the Port of Houston, Houston has always been a leader for innovation. Microsoft's more than $1 million gift investment in the ION Innovation District and to support social entrepreneurship and other initiatives will help to strengthen its position as a center for startups as we work to advance civic participation, smart city initiatives, and economic development and recovery priorities. I want to thank Vice President David Liebram for his leadership in this whole effort. The city and Rice have embarked on conversations on how we can collaborate on these and other important services in a community benefits agreement. Let me now recognize President David Liebram for his remarks. And David, before you speak, let me just thank you and Rice University for taking the initiative and taking the lead, especially on what's happening at the ION. President Liebram.
Thank you so much, Mayor Turner, for your leadership and your encouragement at every stage. And I do want to express my deep appreciation to Microsoft, perhaps the technology company for which I've had the longest personal relationship, as so many of us have had in our lifetimes. This represents really the intensification of three critical partnerships. One, as you've heard, the partnership between the City of Houston and Microsoft as the city really enters a new age and becomes a tech city and builds a reputation in that regard. Second is the relationship and partnership between the ION and Microsoft. And we're so happy that Microsoft is becoming really a founding pillar of the ION. And I want to point out that this is both to support innovation and entrepreneurship around key areas such as artificial intelligence, innovation of things, smart cities, energy transition, data science. That's key work. But also key work is part of Rice's fundamental mission, and that's really the third partnership between Microsoft and Rice University, that we bring education, the upskilling of our population. And so this partnership really advances those two fundamental pillars to our city's success: innovation and education. You really can't have one without the other. So this is a great step forward for our city, a great step forward for the ION in its role of being a center of innovation and entrepreneurship for the City of Houston, and a key element of our broader partnership at Rice University with Microsoft. So again, I want to thank Jackie, I want to thank Microsoft. This is really a wonderful step forward. We are grateful for the vision that you have brought to this. And again, Mayor Turner, we're very appreciative of the vision you have brought to our entire city to uplift all parts of our city as we enter this new age. And I do want to express my concern and empathy with people all over the city who are suffering from this terrible pandemic, and thank the workers on the front lines who are really helping us deal with the situation.
Thank you, President Lieberman. And let me also bring up now Jan Odegaard, the Interim Executive Director of the ION Houston Innovation District as well.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Ramel and Libran. It's been a pleasure to work with Microsoft and the city on sort of envisioning this next phase. And it started with, as Mayor said, the accelerator, working with the city to engage and solve really hard problems using technology. At this point, we are super thrilled to be part of the next phase of that, where education and upskilling and retraining comes into picture. And we're excited to move forward with that and build on that. And we will bring then the academic partners into that network and really expand that and all do it at the ION to revitalize the Midtown. We want Houston to be a destination for technology that really transform the city. Thank you.
Thanks, John. And then let me say, speaking about higher ed, I also want to acknowledge David Crawley, the Professor of Practices at University of Houston College of Technology, as well as Anthony Ambler, University of Houston College of Technology Dean. Which one will be speaking today? Okay.
Thank you very much indeed. I want to add my words to what everybody else has sort of said. This relationship that we have with Microsoft is absolutely wonderful. We've been working with Microsoft for some time now, but now adding on to the Digital Alliance, it makes it even more exciting. Houston is full of technology. We have some great educational establishments here. We've got Rice, we've got University of Houston. And we've been working in these areas for some time, but we can always do even more. And I think the marketing associated with this particular relationship and the financial investment means that we're going to be able to do even more to market the idea of getting more people involved with STEM and STEM technologies and STEM workplace environment, artificial intelligence, smart city, but also the process of innovation, how we educate people to go through the academic or mind-blowing process of innovation is very, very important. But I also like what Mayor Sylvester Turner mentioned, which is reaching out to the underprivileged minorities in the area. We want to excite them with what technology can do and what jobs are available for them in the area of technology and give them the opportunities to build up their particular communities. This is a tremendously exciting time for the whole of the city of Houston, and I look forward to seeing and hearing more about what we're able to achieve. Thank you.
And certainly that's on the college level, but I think we've noted during this coronavirus just the impact of making sure that we provide the skid of the training and expanding technology to many of our communities, especially those communities that are underserved and under-resourced, and then working very closely within our independent school districts. And there's no better champion than have here this morning as Dr. Kenitha Latham from HISD.
Good morning. Thank you, Mayor Turner, and to Microsoft on behalf of the Board of Education and the students, definitely at Jack Yates High School and Edison Middle School. We want to thank you. We're really excited about this partnership. To know that a young lady in the East End or a young man in the 3rd Ward will have this great opportunity. We're really excited. We know the last 6 months have been challenging, not only for our city, but our school district, as we've worked to close the digital divide. But providing our students with additional STEM opportunities is just exciting. To our partners at Rice University and the University of Houston, thank you so much for your continued support of HISD. Once again, thank you. I look forward to in the 6 months to a year of us announcing expanding partnership. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And then Romel Mitchell has just been with us for the past 2+ years, working very, very closely, talking to me during the day and answering my calls late at night after 11 o'clock, like last night. And we were talking close to midnight. But that's the way we do it. So, Romel, let me just give a big, huge thank you and for your leadership that you have provided and continue to provide. So please come and give us your remarks.
Thank you, Mayor Turner. I'd be remiss if I didn't just point out again your leadership, the ability to talk about Houston, not just as a city of oil and gas, not just a city for energy, but a city for innovation. And our first conversation, you mentioned the impact that innovation will have on the city, and you've really led that effort regionally, across the US and across the globe. Microsoft is committed to this relationship, and we're excited about this digital alliance. When we first signed the digital alliance, we knew it was going to be special. The renewal of the alliance and the launch of AccelerateHouston will allow us another opportunity to really double down on this investment, this partnership, and watch it evolve and grow and make an impact across every community. I know I speak for myself and all of my colleagues at Microsoft. Darcy Kelly, our great account manager, our great team here, and your great team, that we're going to do something really, really special moving forward. We have great partners like Kino Eye and Space Center Houston and University of Houston and Rice, the ION. And this is about building an ecosystem. And one thing that Mayor Turner always says is that we have to go big because this is Houston. Now I'm from Dallas, but Mayor Turner kind of rubs that in a little bit, especially at 11 o'clock at night. Says we have to go big. And Houston is a city that goes big. Houston is a city that believes in every community rising. And so with that being said, we are just excited about the investment, excited about the partnership with HISD, what we're going to do with the schools that we're adopting with Yates and Edison. And so this will be a very special event, a very special moment for us, and we look forward to deepening and widening our relationship. So thank you, Mayor Turner.
Thank you, Romel. And it's about being inclusive. As Microsoft through Accelerate Houston expands, for example, over into the ION in a very real way, and with our colleges, University of Houston, RISE, with our school districts like HISD, Dr. Grenita Latham. It's also about making sure that we are getting into these communities that have that need us the most, that need the Microsoft and everyone else. And so I certainly want to thank Julie Estepetch, I see over there, Office of Education, Jesse Bounds, Gabby Rowe, for really, really making sure that we maintain, that we, no, not maintain, we establish that connectivity such that we leave no one behind. And Microsoft is a key partner. So this is another step in really building that ecosystem. Having said that, we'll stop, and any of us can take any questions that anyone may have.
Mayor, we have a question from the Houston Chronicle, Jasper Scherer, who's watching online. How specifically will city officials ensure that these resources reach underserved communities?
Well, as you can see, this is a very collaborative effort. Just the fact that you have President today, the superintendent of HISD, just shows the importance and what has already been established. I know Juliet and Gabby and Shannon Buggs with Complete Communities have been working already closely with our school district. So it's already taking place. The DigiCamps have already been established. Microsoft has been working in these underserved communities for quite some time. HISD is represented, but Microsoft has already been over at Aldine Independent School Districts. We're reaching out to A-Leaf areas as well. So it is a very collaborative and inclusive process. And then, of course, working with the ION and the community agreement, benefit agreements. So those things are taking place already, and we're expanding to make sure that no one is left out. And quite frankly, with this virus, what it's showing is that at a time when the focus is on technology, if people don't have the skill sets, they are left out. And I know Councilmember Carlos Cisneros is very sensitive to that, and trying to make sure, for example, that we provide the devices and the connectivity that all of our kids need, especially in underserved communities. So that is a very high priority, and that's one of the main reasons why I'm excited about what's been announced today.
I have a question for Superintendent. Can you please elaborate how is this technology is going to help the families and the students? I know they're going through tough times. I don't know if they're going to be able to get some help, but this is going to help on this time that they're having hard time to do connections, to get classes and all that.
So as it relates to the services being provided by HISD, we have available a hotline for our parents. We have wraparound specialists that are supporting parents and students to get online and to get connected. We've worked with Gabby and Operation Connectivity to ensure that we have devices for all of our students. As it relates to this partnership with the city and Microsoft, our students are going to learn skills that will help them for a lifetime. And their parents will also be actively involved in the educational component. And so it's a win for every child, not only initially at Yates High School and Edison Middle School, but it's a win for that community because they will have the skills that they need to be successful. And, being a part of the Complete Communities, and it goes back to 3 years now when it started around the discussion, the mayor is trying to lift up all of our communities. And that's the same thing we're doing in HISD with over 209,000 students, lifting up every child. But with every child, they're connected to a parent or guardian.
And when are the students to get these skills? Is the program already on, or when are you planning on?
It starts this school year in the fall. It'll start, school is scheduled to start Tuesday, September 8th. And so we'll be working with Microsoft to design the programming for the students when they'll get online and get started initially in a virtual format.
Okay, any other questions? Let me just say, and I want to underscore the importance of equity throughout our city. This is about equity. This is about raising everybody up, raising their levels up. You can have all the opportunities in the world, but if people don't have the skill set, the divide still exists. And so this is These are strategies working very closely with Microsoft, with Rice, University of Houston, our school districts, Space Houston, you name it, in order to really create equity within our city, and that's what people are asking for. So again, Ramel, let me thank you, Jackie, who was with us. Let me thank you all. Let me thank Microsoft, and there you go, Jackie. Any closing comments?
No, I think you said it well. This is really about equity, and if we think about bridging this digital divide, skilling everyone and having everyone being able to participate means that everyone will be able to achieve. Thank you very much for having us, and I'm really looking forward to this partnership.
And the reality is that the city of Houston can't do it by itself. We need meaningful, impactful partners, and I'm excited about the relationship with Microsoft. And I just know, I feel it all in my veins, all in my spirit, that the best has yet to come. I just feel it. I just feel it. I just know there's another announcement coming. I just know it. So I look forward to having another press conference in September where we announce the next phase of this relationship, transformative relationship, but I cannot say enough. So please tell Kate Johnson and Towns Whitley, tell my friend I said hello, and I'm still looking forward to the oxtails that her husband makes. Having said all of that, thank you so very much. Thank y'all for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.